There is a Swahili proverb that says, usimcheke mchinja umbwa, wazimu itakupata. What does it mean? It means that when you find somebody who slaughters or is slaughtering a dog, don't laugh at him. You will be mad. When you find somebody slaughtering a dog, which is an abomination worldwide, especially in Swahili speaking places, it is said that a person slaughtering a dog, those are the days when we did not have these conmen who would slaughter such animals and maybe pass them off as beef. But they are trying to tell somebody that when you see somebody doing mad things, let it not disturb you, because if it disturbs you, it is you who is going to be mad. And the mad person will not be mad. It is you who will be mad. I'm saying so in reference to Bundi Muturi, Justin Bundi Muturi. He has been sacked as a cabinet secretary. We all knew that, and he more or less had resigned because he said he was not to attend the cabinet meetings until questions that he had asked were answered. Now, I don't know why he chose the cabinet meetings over all other things. If it is a protest, he knows better. He could even protest by not reporting to his office. He could even protest by not going to the field, attending to projects that are to do with his ministry. How he came about with a decision to boycott cabinet meetings, I cannot tell, and I am not in a position to know why he chose that particular thing. Because when it comes to issues of protest, they are wide as the alphabet, and there are so many ways of doing it. He could resign completely, which he refused. He could boycott all function. He could boycott the office. He could boycott the cabinet meetings. He could boycott field trips, so and so. But he chose only one. He knows the reason better. And I say he knows the reason better because he is a lawyer. So he knows things, some of the constitutional things different from what is happening. There is also a saying that when a blind man tells you that he will hit you, you have to be very careful. Why do you have to be careful when a blind man tells you he is going to hit you? Of course, you know the blind man does not see, but he's telling you he's going to hit you. Could he have regained sight? So, a person is vulnerable at his most confident time. When somebody is quite sure of everything and whatever, that is when things go south. So it goes both ways, but especially this time I'm going to talk about Justin Bundi Muturi. Of the way he has been acting, of course, on the moral ground, he has some things to say. But that route has been used by others. One of them is Mother Wangari Karua. When she was the Minister for Justice and Constitution Affairs, the constitution then was different from which is there today. The constitution then did not have a Judicial Service Commission, did not have the vetting of judges or anything whatever. So the constitution then had the president and AG meet and discuss and vet. I mean, meet and discuss and evaluate people who can be ABCD. We have even had cases where somebody is made a chief justice without him knowing. I have in mind Mwendwa, I can't recall, Justice Mwendwa of the Kitui Mwendwa family. His widow later became a cabinet minister, Nyiva Mwendwa. Yeah, Nyiva Mwendwa's husband was it the AG? No, he was not the AG. The AG was Charles Njonjo, but he was one of the lawyers within the AG's chamber, and he was known. He was known to have a transport company. He was known to have a transport company where he used to go to his office, place there at the court, and go to do his transport. He had a bus company. So one day he was told that the president wanted to see him. He thought maybe somebody had reported him to the president. He thought somebody had reported him to the president. So what he did was he reasoned the way they used to reason those days. He took out 10,000 shillings, which was a lot of money then, and went to the president's office, knowing that whatever the president would do, he would give him the 10,000 shillings for Gatundu Self-Help Hospital. Those days, people used to say, they would reach the president's office and tell him they are leaving something for Gatundu Self-Help Hospital, Gatundu Self-Help Hospital, Gatundu Self-Help Hospital. So he carried that money. Upon arrival, he was told that he was going to be sworn in. Yeah, he was Kitili Mwendwa. He was going to be sworn in to be the Chief Justice. So that is how it was. But later on, I mean, that is the time when the president, when he would appoint anybody to be the Chief Justice with advice from the Attorney General. Now, when Martha Wangare Karua was the Minister for Justice, there was a problem with that ministry. Okay, first Minister for Constitution and Justice matter was Tom Mboya. But you see, the president was not, the president was just tied to getting advice from the Attorney General and not, and anybody else of his choosing. It did not specify the minister in charge of, the minister who is for the time being, who is in charge of Constitution Affairs. So she went home at night and found that some judges have been appointed by the president without her knowledge, and even without her participating in the talks. So she resigned. We have so many people who have whatever, and Justin Bundi, he tries to give the impression of a polished lawyer. So people do not know why he did not resign. And he has always, when he's being asked why he did not resign, he keeps on saying, when he's asked why he did not resign, he keeps on saying that why should he, a whistleblower, resign? It is for those people who are abducting people who should resign. Well, that is a bit different, especially him being a lawyer. You see, law and politics are different. And then again, if you look at Justin Bandi Muturi, he has a unique history. He has a unique history in that he has covered all arms of the government. He started off in the judiciary because he was a magistrate. He later ended up in the legislature where he stayed for a long time because he was a member of parliament, and later on he became the initial speaker in the bicameral parliament. So he had covered that. That is the judiciary, the legislature. Now it was the executive. It is now the executive that he was to cover, and he went there as attorney general. He went there as an attorney general. Rumors has it that he's preparing himself for a stab at his royal home governor. Those are rumors as of now. He would have covered it even more because this is somebody who has been in the judiciary. This is somebody who has been in the legislature and even the executive, and now even in the county. That is if he succeeds. I don't know whether he's popular on the ground. I don't know whether he's the popular on the ground. Maybe somebody from the area will have to say. But you see, the problem with the Kenyans is whoever talks, if you see somebody saying he's very popular, 90% popular, you'll not be surprised to find that that person is his supporter. There is also, you may also find another person saying the opposite. Then you'd see this a person who hates him. But he has a right to live his dream. A neighbor of his tried. He had been he had been everything. He had been an MP. He had been a minister. He had been a senator. He had been a governor until Wawera Mwangaza surprised them. Now, with him, the Meru guy, what he succeeded in is that in every election, if you count every election, he has been winning until Mwangaza surprised him. That is one thing. He has never lost an election. Two, he never contested two elections in one political party. Every election is campaigning on a different political party and winning. What happened this time? He must have fallen below the bus. So it is also good that Muturi has ambitions to cover all these things, and including senator. But then the question is he dangerous in the government or out of the government? I do not know whether he will be dangerous out of the government than in the government. But what he was doing within the government, he wanted to sabotage the government from within. And what he was doing definitely was not working out for him. It was not working out for him. Why? Because it was too little and too late. Another thing is that, as I've just said, we have examples of people like Mother Karua, who on principles resigned from their cabinet positions. So him doing that, he was not succeeding in any way. Now he's going out. Has he the financial muscle to do whatever he wants? You see, he can do anything. He can try to sabotage the government the way Rigathi Gachagua is doing. He can try to start building his own political muscle like Ndindi Nyoro. You never know. You never know. But what I can say is that from where I'm seated, his goose had been roasted long time ago. His goose had been had been cooked long time ago, because his son was abducted by you know who. His son was abducted. Uh, his son was abducted by you know by whom, and then while he was serving in the same government, if we have to take what he says, the actions he took, the calling everybody and whatever, going even to see the president, shows a lot. It's I would not believe it that the president did not know. The deputy president may not have known, uh, but you see, Rigathi Gachagua later came and said he knows whatever. But then a person who is the deputy president may not be in a position to know, may not be in a position to know. A person in the position of deputy president may not be in a position to know things to do with security. Because when it comes to security, it is the president in his both capacity as president and commander in chief, who is also head of security, whatever. So the briefing, according to these security people, they are answerable to the CDF or the inspector general, who is answerable to the president. Not even in the line ministry. So when you see some things are happening, we can say, Rigathi Gachagua told us, when you see that you have been removed from State House WhatsApp group, know that your days are over. And I want to tell the Gen Zs that this is a clear case of how people are looking for a way to deal with Muturi. But you as Gen Zs gave them the opportunity to do so by coming out and protesting. Now, because Muturi's son is around your age, it was easier to connect the two. But his abduction was different from the abduction that was happening to you and your people. The reason is different. The reason is not the same as what has been connected to Gene C. So if he would have smelled the coffee, he would have known then. And then it came to a time when the cabinet was dissolved. When the cabinet was dissolved, it is only Musalia Mudavadi who remained, and he remained the acting minister for all other ministries. So that means he became the acting minister for all other ministries. So it means that there was a hidden message there, because Attorney General, although the Attorney General sits in the cabinet, but when the cabinet is dissolved, the Attorney General, even those days when we did not have this constitution, the Attorney General would remain. Remember Kibaki after the 2005 referendum, the Attorney General remains, but this one did not remain. And then he himself, he claims that he went to the president and showed him that that is not the way things happen. And then she told the president that the best thing is for him to prepare a resignation letter, and then the president does what? Accepts it. I can see horse trading there. Ruto is not poor in horse trading. Bargaining for a former chicken seller is not hard. So I think he must have discussed that, and that is what I'm suspecting. I wasn't there. he must have talked to the president concerning, him being sacked and whatever, and how it is hard for that. And the president, in my view, must have told him, "Don't worry, I've seen the mistake." He would even cheat that my advisors didn't tell me well, and maybe I did this, and I've noticed. And you see, I've already placed it in the advertisement in the Kenya Gazette, so I can't reverse it. But I'll appoint you as a minister. So that is, I believe, Muturi accepted the ministerial post, knowing that the Muturi accepted to write us resignation letter in the belief that he will be reassigned another ministry. Of course, he was reassigned another ministry, which basically the work there is that one of prime cabinet secretary, because performance and whatever, something like that. So he may, I'm using the word may, underlining it, writing in capital and in bold, he may have been promised a very senior ministry. But then when the list came out, he found himself in one of the most skeleton ministries that are there. That is, I use the word may. Now, again, even moving into the ministry that he was given and whatever, we don't know what happens and whatever. But we can come to a conclusion that during the period that he was doing that, he was during the time he was doing that, he was noticing some things that they were not working out well as they are. So that is how he started fighting the government and refusing to come out. Now, the choice of his replacement, a military officer, retired military officer, he has been a vocal defender of the government, and that one has been noticed. He comes from the same area as Bundi Muturi. But one thing people may not have noticed is that he is the only MP from Democratic Party. He's the only MP from Democratic Party. So even by selecting him, we have talked about the area being where Muturi comes from. We talk of whatever. But you can even see that the political party called the Democratic Party is dying. Viewers, keep watching. We see what will happen next. Politics is a dirty game played by smart ladies and gentlemen with no observation to respect. Thank you.